Welcome to the West Indian Women Network. I am Priscilla Ramcharan here in the United States. I am the founder, and I'm here to connect Caribbean people from around the world. Our next guest, I'm so excited to have you hear all about her work and everything that she's been doing. So please welcome and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Allyson Roberts. I'm based in Trinidad and Tobago, West Indies. I'm the author of two books. My first book is Turning a New Leaf, and my second book is Inspired for You.
Ooh.
A little about me. I I grew up in a family, four siblings, mother and father, and very protected. And I am very Catholic oriented, grew up in the church, and love serving the Lord. I first met my husband, Nicholas, in 20, 2000. And a little later on, it could be before 2000. I think I'm mixing it up. Anyhow, I met this lovely gentleman and he went off and got married. And later on, I met him again. So my inspiration for my book was based on his testimonies because he was a chatterbox.
Mm.
So that when the COVID came, I wrote on him. I had works that I had collected when I was doing tertiary education. They
Hmm.
said to us to do a journal. So in doing a journal, you had a lot of ammunition. So when
Yes.
COVID came and everything was on the down, I had things written. So that's when I was able to do my first book, Turning a New Leaf. And that book is Turning a New Leaf. Every page of Turning a New Leaf is actually turning a new leaf. It's not turning over a new leaf like some people think, but it's turning a new leaf with different testimonies of our relationship.
Oh.
Having written Turning a New Leaf and the reviews from Turning a New Leaf, everybody said, but what about you? Why don't you tell
Hmm.
us about you? We want to hear something about you. So I wrote my next book inspired by what they were saying, and I
Ooh,
called it Inspired for You.
I love it.
Yes. So those are my two books, and that's just a little about me, and lots of it you will read in Turning a New Leaf and also in Inspired for You, which are available on Amazon in Kindle and in paperback. I also have it
Absolutely.
locally at the Metropolitan Bookstore and Cafe, which
Hmm.
is located in Ariapita Avenue in Woodbrook.
Perfect. But congratulations to you. I'm so proud of you for being able to put your thoughts on paper. You never know where inspiration can come from, right? And I've
Yes,
heard that during COVID, a lot of authors were born where they had
yes,
ideas up here, and with life and work and the hustle, 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 they weren't able to. But then COVID came, you're home, and now you are reflecting and remembering, oh, I had these ideas, right?
yes, yes,
Awesome. So you said your husband inspired you to write the first book, and your community inspired you to write your second book about you.
yes. That's
And
right.
what would be your motivation to continue authorhood?
Well, that's a very interesting question because in my epilogue for the Inspired for You,
Uh-huh.
I wrote that am I a writer? And
Mm.
I asked the readers to think, and you never know, maybe. So I'm an author, but I'm not sure if I'm a writer.
Mm. So what would make that distinction for you?
Writing is a lot of work, a lot of so turning a new leaf was easy because of the inspirations and inspired for you, but if I am to write, I have to really get lots of paperwork done, and I imagine it to be scrapping a lot of work and redoing and putting it here and changing it there, and you know, and a lot of extra thought going into a lot of things.
Right. And
So
are
I
we ever
am.
really done writing our piece? Because sometimes I will go back and say, oh man,
That's right.
I should have put this instead.
That's right. So many ideas flow afterwards and flow in between, and you keep changing, and yes.
Absolutely. But I'm sure there's another story in there waiting to be born. And my advice would be don't think so far ahead about revising and editing and all of that just yet. You could always pay somebody to do that. But for you, let those ideas flow because you never know what is cooking up in your mind.
Well, interestingly,
Uh-huh.
my husband died recently,
Oh, my
and
condolences to you.
thank you. And based on the stories that came out of his sudden death, I mean,
Mm,
sudden in the sense that it was really sudden, but not in the sense that over the years he was ailing.
mm.
So, based on that, I think I have a lot of ammunition for another book, so that my writing may just spark.
That's right. Let it flow to you and through you. Let him allow him to speak because now you are his voice
I am telling you.
to share.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. So I say keep going.
yes.
So what
I
is
would just get quiet time to start writing down, because I have a lot of work that I captured during
uh-huh.
those times, so that it's just to put it on paper. I have them
Absolutely. Make
scattered
the
all
time.
over, as a writer would have. You have a piece here and a piece there and a piece. It's just to put it into that puzzle and present it to the world.
Most definitely. Now, Miss Allison, what is your background? Because you said neither writer nor author, but suddenly you were.
Yes. So I did banking for 30 years. I
Oh,
worked at
wow.
the one of the banks in Trinidad, Republic Bank. And beside working in the bank, I teach. I teach piano,
Oh,
and I
wow.
teach music theory. So while working in the bank, I was asked by one of my colleagues to teach her child, and the child was successful. I said I wasn't wasting time, so I sent her for exams. She passed with distinction, and she went boasting to staff members, and then I had like 19 staff members coming in to ask me to teach their children. So I had a thriving business going on alongside my working at the bank.
That is
So
amazing.
I further went on to do tertiary education in music education and literacy.
That is
So
amazing. So you're a blessing all around.
yes,
That is
yes, and
wonderful.
I try to be a blessing wherever I go. Yes.
Absolutely. So you always are, I'm sure. So what would you say inspired you the most that you can carry with you about your husband and your marriage?
He was a down to earth person. He loved people. He loved plants. He loved, entertaining. So he would just welcome people open handedly. And sometimes I think if I sit down there, he would give me away. You know, he liked to give away things. So he planted and he gave away plants, and that brought in more people. So
Oh,
that probably live wire he was. Yes, and what drew me to his character
uh-huh.
is the jokes. He was a
Mm,
jovial person. So
mm-hmm.
I tend to warm up to people who make me laugh. Yes.
Right. I love that. So what would you say would be your motivation to continue onward with writing, with just expanding your horizons?
Yes, well, based on his death and the information I have, I can start there. And
Mm-hmm.
who knows, I might just end up in my music, area, you know. I never know. I never know. It's yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have a message for our viewers?
Yes. For people who have never written, I am telling you, put it down on paper and continue daily to put another, add to it, add to it, add to it, and get that um, desire to publish. Publishing, it's difficult at first, but once you find the right people and the right YouTube videos, because that is what helped me in self-publishing,
Right.
you can do it. And I encourage people to write their stories.
I
I
love
never
that.
thought I could have done it. And having done it, I feel so blessed and
Hmm.
so good about myself.
Oh,
You
good
know,
for
so,
you.
yes.
You never know who you will inspire. My
Yeah,
mentor was just telling me that, you can inspire one person or hundreds of people. It doesn't matter. The point is you made a difference in somebody's life.
yes,
That is
yes.
so phenomenal. I love your
Thank you.
message.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I appreciate you coming on our channel to share your work. We will put your links in the description box and anything else you want us to know and you want to share with the audience, just send it over to me and we'll spread the word because I am definitely interested in reading more of your work.
Thank you very much.
You're
And
welcome.
and please give me reviews on Amazon.
Absolutely. You can
It's by
count on it.
reviews. It's by reviews that people are able to see your work. And I'm limited here in Trinidad to just share it with all my friends and family and so on through our bookstore.
Hmm.
So yes. So as many people that I can get outside, because I don't know a great number of people in the wild web, the
Right,
wide
right.
good web. So I'm happy for this opportunity to be interviewed by you.
Oh, I'm so happy to
Caribbean
have you.
community. Thank
For
you.
sure. You're welcome. So,
Yeah.
what you made me remember another question to say, what
Yes.
would you say was your initial challenges with independent publishing?
Okay. So independent publishing, I had to get an editor,
Mm,
right, to edit my work. And I thought I got the correct editor, but I found out after the book was published that you do not judge a book by its cover.
mm-hmm.
Beautiful cover, but in the inside, I had plenty mishaps, and I spoke about it in in the acknowledgements part of the next book, Inspired for You. So you
Ah,
get a lot of information there. And then after editing, it was, I never thought in my wildest of dreams
mm.
that I had to market my book,
Oh,
you know?
it was just gonna magically.
My thing was to get my husband's messages
Oh,
out. And how did it get out? By publishing a book. But then
right.
after, how did the book get out?
That's a good point,
I
marketing your
never
book.
thought of marketing that book. So that now I'm going along on like today I did a video on my status, reading from chapter 4 of my book
Ooh,
on my boldness. I did it on my status and I tried to put it on Facebook and Instagram story so that I'm learning slowly how to market, you
right.
know?
Right.
Yes.
Well, look
But
for me on
marketing is
Facebook.
just as important.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Find me on Facebook and I'll share with you some of the writers groups that I'm in. And you can certainly, they love for us to share our work and we exchange ideas and everything. So remember to find me, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're
I will
welcome.
do.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Miss Allison, for joining us and sharing your work. This is how we make things happen. By reaching back and helping our communities and helping our authors to grow, right?
Yes, I just want to put the book up again for people who are looking in. If you love Kindle, the picture on Kindle is different from what is on the paperback for
Paperback.
this book, because of course I was experimenting.
Why not?
So I didn't know then that you had to try and keep the same picture, right?
Oh,
So that's important to note. If you're looking for it on Kindle, it's a different cover. Yes. And
absolutely.
then, of
Well
course,
noted.
beginning and the leaf is the same.
Listen, I
Yes.
know people who have cried trying to just get that book cover to
Yes. Yes.
situate itself. So we're all in the
It's a
same boat.
challenge.
Absolutely. One
Yes.
of the things I'm
Yes.
trying to do now is to create a Caribbean author section in my local library. So I'd
Nice.
be happy to promote your book as well there. And you
Thank you
never know,
very
you
much.
might come out to Pennsylvania and do a book signing. Who knows?
Oh, I would love that.
Woohoo! Well, thank you again so much. It was a pleasure. Everyone, look out for Miss Allison's books. The links are below and send her some love and some good reviews.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Bye
Say
bye.
bye.
Bye
Bye
bye. God
bye.
bless you all.
Oh.